Winter has been very long this year, but now spring is creeping up incredibly fast. And I have a lot of small tasks that needs to be finished before the first seeds go into the ground in just a few weeks. Today, I'm gonna take you along as we are going to put manure on the vegetable garden. We grow vegetables with a rotation system, but it's in the same garden every year, so we need to add nutrition to the soil. Then I'm going to prune our berry bushes. This should have been done in winter ideally, but it has been snow and frost for the last 2.5 months. So that has been quite hard. Also, as I showed in this video, the kids have eaten all our berries. So I have to expand the berry bush area. So I'm going to take some cuts also and show that. As I'm talking about expanding the berry bush area, also the duck coop area will be expanded. I've already built the duck coop, so I'm not going to show that build process. But I'm going to do an experiment making some fence posts myself that I think you'll find very interesting. So enough talk, let's get to work. This is not glamorous work. This is once again an experiment. These are agricultural fibers, which I got for free. It's fully composted manure and straw. Heavy, damp, full of last year's bedding. But this is where vegetables actually begin. What I'm shoveling here isn't just waste, it's stored fertility. You can still see the fibers from the straw. That's good. It means structure. When this goes into the beds, it won't just add nutrients, it will build soil texture. It feeds fungi, it feeds bacteria, and eventually it feeds us. I don't spread fresh manure straight onto growing crops. This has been sitting, breaking down, heating up. The sharp edges are gone. It's stable enough to go onto some of the beds before planting. People talk a lot about fertilizers in terms of N, P and K. That's fine. But what really changes a garden over years is organic matter, carbon, fibers, the slow stuff. Every shovelful here increases water retention, improves aeration, buffers nutrients, especially in sandy soil. This is gold. It smells earthy now, not sharp. That's how I know it's ready. I'm not digging it in deeply. I'll spread it on top and let worms and weather do the work. Tillage is fast. Biology is smart. There's something honest about this stage of gardening. Before seeds, before green leaves, just cold soil and a pile of decomposed bedding. If you want to grow vegetables in the same space year after year, this is the work you don't skip. By summer, this will look like nothing ever happened here, just rows of food. But this is the foundation, and it starts with a shovel. Today I'm pruning our berry bushes, red currants, black currants and blueberries. Late winter is the best time for this. The plants are dormant, the structure is visible, and it's easy to see what needs to go. Pruning isn't really about making the bush look neat. It's about light, airflow and renewing the wood that actually produce fruit. With red currants, most of the berries grow on older branches, 2, 3, even 4 years old. So here I mainly remove dead wood, crossing branches, and 1 or 2 of the oldest stems from the base each year. That keeps the bush open and slowly replaces old growth with new. Blackcurrant are different. They fruit best on last year's growth, so the goal is to constantly encourage new shoots. Older branches, especially thick dark ones near the base, are completely removed. It can look quite aggressive, but blackcurrants respond well to hard pruning. Blueberries are slower growing, so I'm more careful. I remove deadwood, very low branches and occasionally one of the old canes to keep the plant renewing over time. The goal with all of them is simple, an open structure where light can reach the whole plant. Right now they look like bare sticks, but by summer these branches will be carrying the next year's harvests. Is there anything better than fresh berries pricked just from the bush? I don't think so. So what I've been working on here are new berry bushes. It might be a little bit late, but better late than never. And what I've been working on here is our red currants, black currants and lots of blueberries. We have some very, very plentiful red currant bushes, but we have to move them as we want to build a structure where they're going. We use them for juice and marmalade and all sorts of stuff. The blackcurrants are absolutely delicious, and we have 2 giant bushes that give a lot of berries. But we also want to make even more products from those, as they are very good. So I've also made some of these. And lastly, we have blueberries. And as I've mentioned, our kids, they have eaten all the blueberries. So I have to plant some more bushes. We have 2 big bushes that were here when we moved in, and they give a lot of blueberries. And we've also planted some in another location. But I don't think you can have too many blueberry bushes. So I hope that some of these saplings will work for us. I have some I did last year that are going to be planted out just now. Those are red currants and black currants. And there might be a few surviving blueberries. But in my experience, they have been harder to get cuts from that are viable until the next spring. So we are in the greenhouse, and I hope that these saplings will get a good start here for the year, and then they will be planted out in the next spring, and they will go out in the summer and enjoy that. So here's hopefully to, in a few years, where the payoff really starts, to many, many more berries. Has your vegetable garden also grown just a little bit every year? I know mine has, but this year I'm making a further extension, but this time not for vegetable, but for our ducks. As you might be able to hear in the background, we have an integrated vegetable garden and duck coop, and that works extremely well. A few years ago, all of our vegetables were eaten by slugs, and it was very sad to see small saplings of, for example, pumpkins be put out, and then the next day they were just motorsawed over by a slug. So we got ducks, and now we have to walk a few kilometers to find a slug close to where we live. So it works very well. We have also grown quite fond of duck eggs, so we have more ducks now and want to give them more space. So where I'm standing now is supposed to be our fruit grove in a few years. And until the trees grow big, I think the ducks can lair here. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to extend the fence. I'm going to put in the new duck house, which just needs the last lick of paint. And then some of the berry bushes that I've shown will also go here, because we live in western Denmark and it's very windy. We have a slight breeze today that you might be able to experience, but it's usually much more windy. So these are one of the spots that are partially sheltered by the house, and many things like some shelter because it also gets warmer there. So shelter from the harsh western wind is a premium location on our old farm here. So the ducks, they will have to share with the fruit trees and the berry bushes. And maybe, maybe next year I will also extend the vegetable garden again to grow just more vegetables. You'll have to wait and see, check in next year. So for now, I will get into extending the fence, planting berry bushes and getting everything ready for the ducks to move in, so they have more space to move around. We don't keep them in the vegetable garden when we have very small plants. They don't eat them, but they tend to, they are very clumsy and they tend to step on them. And if there's some exposed new ground, they want to see if there's any grubs or insects down there so they can push up. They pushed up all my squash plants last year, but I got them out and dug them down again. So no harm, no foul. One of the things that are key in self-sufficiency is community. I would like to say that we do everything ourselves, and we do a lot of things ourselves. But when you have some big tasks coming up, it's good to get friends and family to pitch in so you can finish the project in one day or one weekend. This upcoming weekend, we have a work day planned with some other families with small children that are coming to help us. We will be 6 adults, 6 children working. The children will be playing in the garden, and the adults will get whatever work they can done. And this day we have planned a extension of the duck coop. In December we built the duck coop, but it has been snow and ice and frosts, so we haven't really been able to paint it. But now the duck coop is painted and ready to be deployed in the new duck coop area. We will fence in the new area, and we also have some small other tasks we will do in the workday. But the main idea is to get the duck coop up and ready, so our ducks have a place to be when we have small and tender plants growing from the soil here in the spring. So today I'm going to make some fence posts, and I could of course go to the store and buy some fence posts. They would probably be pressure impregnated with copper. I want to do something else, and this is as always an experiment. So I'm going to cut some pieces of wood we're going to use for fence posts. Then I'm going to burn them in the end. This is a method that has been used all the way back to the Viking era. That is one of the ways that we can find the houses today, is by finding the ash pits left over by the wood. So that removes some of the first things that the microorganisms that break down wood in nature can eat. So we're removing that. And then I will put them to soak in some water glass. But let's get going. Now we just have a schematic, and we can do that a lot more times. Here I'm trying to char the fence posts a little bit more than you would expect, as I want the charring to be also where the earth and air will meet, because that is often where the fence posts are breaking. So though they look pretty badly burned, it's only a very short char layer. So now we have the fence post charred, and this is a technique well known to many, and it can do a lot for the longevity of the fence posts. But what I'm also trying to do today in this experiment is to sort of mimic nature. If you find fossilized wood, that's basically just wood where a lot of silicium has entered. So I'm going to use something called water glass. You can find it in very old cooking books. It was used to preserve eggs before refrigeration was common. You just put the eggs down into the water glass solution, and it will create a very hard layer with the calcium on the eggshell. And then the eggs can last for over a year if done properly. Also, if you look in very old carpenter books, water glass was also used as a preservant of wood. So I'm hoping the chart effect plus the water glass will give me something extra, and that these fence posts will last for many, many, many years. But we only find out by experimenting, so let's get on with it. Now that all the fence posts have been painted with the water glass solution, I will let them dry out for 24 hours, and then in the weekend we will have our work day and put them up. And I don't know if it works. Check back in a few years, and if they have broken, it didn't work. That's how it goes with experiments sometimes. That was all the tasks done. Now we're ready for spring. In maybe just a few weeks, we'll see how the weather turns out. Some things were done maybe a little too late, and some things were done very early. As with most times, weather is the factor for us, and also time, as we have small kids also. If you would like to see more of what we do here, please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and if you have any good ideas for what we should show, please consider leaving a comment on this video. We do a lot of things, but we have been discussing what to show and what not to show, what people would like to see. So if you have a good idea, please leave a comment on this video, and then we will put it in the back and maybe toss it around a bit and take out a topic for the next video. And then I'll see you in the next one.